Hello there folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video, and welcome to the mighty Nazare. This place has been on my photography bucket list for quite a while, and when I spin you around in just a moment you will see why. It is absolutely gorgeous. Hold on. Now, Nazare is known for many things, being one, beautiful, and two, big waves. The intention is to stick around for a bit because word around the campfire is that next week, early next week, there's storms coming, and potentially will give us some big waves. So we'll see if we can take some pictures this evening with some bluebird skies, and over the next couple of days, as I say, we're going to stick around for a few days just in the area, the general area. So might mix in a few other locations as well if we can, but for now I am on my way back to the car and all is well. I get out of this guy's way, he's reversing, and yeah, so just having a wander. Beautiful town though. So let's get rambling. Actually, just before I let you completely go, I'm going to show you some more of this view. Hold on. Olá!
Olá, boa tarde.
Boa tarde.
Tudo bom?
Tudo bem.
Tudo bem? Ok.
Obrigado. So, just as like a bit of a tourist PSA, there is a funicular that you can get. I don't think, I just came off it. I walked down, there's stairs you can walk down. Oh look, let me flip you around here. So you can walk down these stairs here. It's a lovely walk, and then it basically leads you out onto this kind of promenade that you see here, and you can go all the way down, which is what I did just earlier today, just to kind of have a look and, you know, get a bit of a feel for the place. But and then you can get the funicular back up, so save the old legs because it's a steep climb, but it's such a beautiful view. Wow, like really, it's an incredible view. There are a few spots that I do have kind of earmarked for photography, particularly if we do get some nice swells. It's actually like ridiculously calm now, but we will see how we get on over the next few days. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because I said I was going to stop rambling in the last one, and let's continue on. Well, it saddens my heart to say that I have to cut this very short because my curtain, again, is after jamming. So I need to get back to the car and see if I can fix that. What an absolute disaster. I really don't know what the solution is going to be moving forward with this whole thing, because it is an issue. But look, sure, I better get back to the car and see if I can get it working. So we'll see what happens. If I can get back out and take more pictures, I will. But we shall see. It's really starting to rain now as well, so I don't know. It's probably the gods trying to tell me to go back to the safety of the car. But anyway, I better pack up and get back. So folks, the camera seems to have righted itself. I really don't know what I'm going to do. It's the next day, as you can probably tell, and yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Essentially, I just kind of put it into continuous high and just like rattled off a few pictures, and it seemed to kind of put itself back together. So yeah, I really don't know what way I'm going to manage this in the future. But anyways, here we are again, out and about, and wow, look at this trail we're on. Let me turn you around here. This gorgeous trail we're on. And the payoff, I was out rambling around a bit earlier on today, and the payoff of this little trail is magnificent. So let's have a little wander, and yeah, it's kind of got about maybe 2.5 hours before the sun sets, and the intention really is just to kind of mess around, you know. I do want to get back down onto the beach again, and hopefully not get lashed on, and take some pictures that I had intended on doing. So we're starting a bit late today with some photos we are off to take right now. It's kind of mess around with some long exposures there. But let me take you on this trail and let me show you the view from the end. It's absolutely wonderful. Now I have set myself up very nicely indeed, and I am essentially just over. I'm going to turn you around. I really love this whole turning around business. It makes things so much simpler. I am now overlooking the water, as you can see here. I've got my trusty 100 to 400 on, as I'm sure you probably would have guessed would have been the way things were going to go. And yeah, just punching in. The idea, like I tried to talk about yesterday, is just to try and create this kind of sense of fluid. And that, I think, because when you look past, let me zoom you around again, when you look past the break, I hope you can see that, there's these beautifully clean waves that are toppling every so often, and my intention is to try my best to photograph a couple of those. I might play around with some long exposures as well and see how we get on, but for now, just out enjoying some photography. So happy the camera is actually working again. So yeah, I'm going to pop up some pictures if any of them turn out to be any good, and let's have a look. Welcome friends to the ASMR Photography Studio, and welcome to the pictures that we are finally getting to after that rambling intro. I was sitting there editing thinking, oh my God, am I going to really make people sit through all of this? But I hope you enjoyed the rambles as they went on. Now for our first picture today, I am delighted with how it turned out. Super easy, super simple, and just nice fluid motion. And that's exactly what I had set out to try and capture. Really love the simplicity of this one here. After putting on my 10-stop filter, I decided to play around with some longer exposures, and as you can see, I even went ahead and made this one black and white, as for me, I really find the deep contrast of the shadow and highlights really helps emphasize the motion that I was ultimately looking to try and capture. So as a good start to this adventure in photography, I am delighted with how these two simple, clean frames worked out. So folks, I have changed position, and wow, there's like this fisherman down on the water's edge. And fair play to him, man, he is facing some waves, and I really hope I am capturing this as well as I would like to. Let me get one more. Every so often he just stays so still, and I'm able to shoot maybe half a second or so. I'm really liking the back of the camera here. It's beautiful kind of like interest in the whole frame. So if any of these pictures turn out to be any good, which I hope they do, I'm going to pop them up for you now. I was so excited when I saw this fisherman standing down here and walking around as he was casting his reel off into the distance. And oh man, when he stood so still, it was such a wonderful thing. And I am delighted with this picture, and I took another one as well. I don't know, there's just something so wonderful about photographing a subject like this in water.
surrounded by all of this motion, and as mirrored by the kind of foreground in this particular one, it's a very kind of standing against the tide, and just as much as the man is doing here as he's fishing. A wonderful thing. And in this one I just shot more in a portrait orientation and zoomed in a little bit closer just to eliminate any of the foreground and just to make the dude himself pop. And wow, they really do. Fair play to these guys. They're absolutely fantastic with where they stand, and a real extra treat as a nice kind of photographic subject in this wonderful surrounding.
Okay, that was really awesome. I hope I was able to do that dude some justice. Fair play to the fishermen here. They really go out, like, you know. So I really hope I was able to capture him in his element very well. So I'm going to pack up real quick, and I'm actually going to head down to where I was yesterday when we discovered the camera was broken, and I'm going to hope to see if the guy is still around, and I might be able to then, you know, try use him again as some nice interest in some images. As it stands now, we have about what's it, 5 o'clock. We've got a good hour and a half before the sun sets anyway. I don't know how much light we're going to really get or what we're going to do for the sunset, but nonetheless we're having fun times all the same. Going to head down to the beach and let's see if we can capture some more waves.
So as I made my way down to the shoreline, I was delighted to see that the dude was still off in the distance, and I managed to capture this particular frame. And I actually really do like this. It's such a glowy kind of ethereal vibe to it, and then the dude himself off in the distance really adds a lovely kind of focal point to the image. And of course you've got that beautiful diagonal of the sand leading out into the water. Really love this one. For me, I ultimately came down to the shoreline to capture this kind of image. You know me and waves, I was absolutely delighted when they were breaking so wonderfully, and that really lovely kind of dapple of color in the background in the sky really helps bring this frame together for me. And I love the stillness to this frame. As kinetic as the wave is, for me there's something just so wonderfully peaceful about it, and I really love this image. This I captured, I think, as far as I remember, just after the sun had set, and again, like the ones we looked at the start, it's just this stillness. There's no kind of whitewash in the actual wave itself, and the whitewash that is in the foreground acts as a beautiful layer to the wave in the back, and then of course that same pop of color in the sky. I really love how this particular image turned out, and super delighted that I rambled back down to the shoreline to photograph these images. And of course there's a lot to be said for simply looking down. I noticed these 3 rocks and decided, yeah, that's nice. So there you are, and picture some rocks as a fun way of ending this outing with the camera.
So you join me now on the road to Nazare. This particular viewpoint that we're ultimately looking to get to is the very kind of classic shot of Nazare overlooking the lighthouse. And you know, while the waves, I don't know whether they're big waves or giant waves or whatever, but fair play, there's some dude out there, he's surfing, man. So I'm going to absolutely see if I can get some pictures of that guy surfing. And let me turn you around now, hopefully you can see. So off in the distance there, can I zoom in? Zoom in. Oh yeah, so there's the lighthouse. So that's a very kind of classic kind of photograph. And you know what, if the sun happens to go through that little break, I'm going to come back here to ultimately try and photograph sunset. But for now I'm going to head down to the lighthouse, see if I can capture this surfer out here, and then I'll meander my way back. We've probably got about an hour and a half before sunset, so let's get rambling and let's keep our fingers crossed. Well, all I can say is fair play. Wow. I mean, he was a lone soldier out there, him and his mate who was on the jet ski thing, pulling him along. I don't know whether any of the pictures are going to turn out to be any good, but sure, look, such is the way of things. I don't photograph surfers too often, but that was still an impressive sight to behold nonetheless. So I'm just on my way back now to see if I can find a shot for this evening. I don't think we're going to get any light or anything kind of dramatic happening, but if any of the pictures of the surfer turn out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you now, and I'm going to meander my way on.
you know, I have seen Point Break a whole bunch of times, so I'm assuming I could probably do this, but I mean, if Keanu Reeves can do it, then, you know, we all can. But wow, this fella, fair play to him, and his friend with the jet ski. Wow, this is something to behold. And this is the only real image that I captured out of the sequence that I shot that kind of, you know, spoke to me in relation to it being nice. Obviously, the grandeur of the scene, I decided to shoot it a little bit wider to kind of help, you know, show him in his element and to give a bit more scale to the waves themselves. It's such a wonderful, wonderful thing to watch. And fair play to him. I mean, it was impressive to behold. I did forget to ramble about, you know, trying to photograph these kinds of images as well. And for me, I think this is one of my favorite wave images that I've ever photographed. I absolutely love the dynamism and the power that's in this frame. Now, I obviously have no idea how big the wave is, and it not having any kind of sense of scale kind of helps lend itself to us as a viewer and our imagination as we look at this wave as it crests and breaks. And I really, really love this image, and just, I'm so delighted that I managed to capture it. And yeah, I think this would be an absolutely mega print. I really, really do love this one.
So I have set myself up now at this beautiful viewpoint. Wow, man, these cliff edges though, I really wish I was wearing my boots, but it is absolutely stunning here. Now, there is the tiniest little break in the horizon where the sun is supposed to set, so all we can do is keep our fingers and toes crossed. But you know yourself, it's a gamble. But wow, what an absolutely incredible viewpoint here. I absolutely will be using some filters. Accessory not supported. Okay, stop that. Yeah, and I'm going to just teeter here. It's not too long before the sun sets anyways, so we'll see if anything happens. So let's have a wait. One thing I should also say is that there is an incredible mood to the whole atmosphere and where we're standing. So, you know, if we don't necessarily get like any kind of awesome sunset light, we could potentially get a nice blue hour image, which could still work out well. And it would be pretty awesome if the lighthouse came on too. So let's just keep our fingers and toes crossed and see what happens. So let's wait and see. So I'm just playing around with some long exposures. I have my 10 stop on, and they're not looking too bad on the back of the camera here. I got my trusty, I finally took my lens cloth with me so I can keep the lens clear. And I really, really hope the filters don't fall off the front of the camera, because there's really no getting them back here. But the lights have started to come on in the town. Let me turn you around actually, because it's a cracking view this way too. So that's Nazare, well, but you can't really see because of this little cliff here, but that's like the end of Nazare right there, the town. And as you can see, it stretches out to the far beyond, and there is some serious stormage happening over there. But yeah, so it's really, really lovely here. As I say, I'm just going to wait the extra few minutes to see if anything happens for the sunset. And but sure, look, if any of these long exposures turn out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you right now.
So here is the result of the longer exposure that I was standing here overlooking this wonderful viewpoint. I'm delighted with this frame. It's so vibrant, and the mood in the sky is just incredible. It's such a wonderful thing. I'm so happy with how it all turned out. Thankfully, there wasn't a huge amount of wind, so I was able to capture this at around 20-ish seconds or so. And for me, I really, really loved the way it all kind of came together, and that beautiful color in the sky is just so gorgeous. It's also light and airy, which I really, really love. And the composition, you'll see from the next image, I don't change it just because I really, really love it. The beautiful foreground that comes in from the left and ultimately then leads us off down into the lighthouse at the end of this headland. And so I'm just super happy with how this one turned out. I really, really do love this.
So hopefully those long exposure images turned out to be any good. We're just waiting now for the sun to officially set. Now, I don't know, there's a bit of color in the sky. I hope you can see that over there. So you never know, You see where that like kind of little patch is in the distance? Hold on, let me zoom in. Boop. You see where that patch is? The sun is supposed to go there. So how amazing would it be if it actually, you know, went there and we captured some light in the sky. But nonetheless, having an absolutely wonderful time here. It's a cracking view. Wow, it's like epically good. So the you know, we're not getting massive waves, unfortunately. It's funny how the forecast changes. It must be such tender hooks being one of these kind of big wave surfer dudes. just because you just have to just be like, drop of a hat, okay, big waves, let's go, 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 go. Because they were supposed to be a bit forecast. Now, obviously, the dude I photographed earlier surfing may have been the biggest waves that I have seen anybody surf. So I suppose that's something. But nonetheless, we are here having a blast. So we're not going to venture too far away, you know what I mean, like after this Nazare stop. So you never know, you never know. The season has officially ended for the big waves, but you never know. We'll keep our ear to the ground. But for now, we're just going to wait out the sunset. Well, folks, I really, really hope you can see that. Let me zoom in. Burp. Does it zoom in anymore? Look at that, there is the sunshine, absolutely magic. It lasts in like 2 seconds. I am just rattling off now some bracketed exposures just to see if I can, you know, do this any, ooh, I'm very zoomed in, look at that. Boop. Just to see if I can do this scene any justice. I did take a few long exposure shots, oh my God, it's so gorgeous. Oop. I put my, I have my 3-stop on at the minute. Wow, what an absolutely gorgeous scene. Man, wow, what a true testament of like, what patience does for photography. And there was this gorgeous kind of haze in the air too. Oh my God. Yeah, so that was absolutely gorgeous. So I really, really hope these pictures turn out to be any good. And then we'll have to just wait and see. But wow, what an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous scene we find ourselves in. It's really, really magic. Okay, let's pop up classic ASMR Photography Lab style and let's have a look.
Who can deny what a bit of light can do to an image? This for me is such a wonderful frame and I'm so delighted with how it all turned out. There was this gorgeous kind of haze on the horizon as well, which helped kind of diffuse the sunlight as it came through the break on the horizon, and it just bathed this whole scene in such wonderful, wonderful light and just added this gorgeous pop of color and focal point to the image. I absolutely loved this photograph, and for me it was like a wonderful kind of coming together of the entire experience here in Nazare, and it's just, yeah, it was just so wonderful. I really, really love how this image came together in such a wonderful way to end the whole experience. Is so beautiful when the landscape photography gods grant us with the gorgeousness that it can bestow.
Wow, what an absolutely wonderful end to this video. I couldn't have asked for anything better. That was absolutely magic. I really, really hope the pictures I captured did it some kind of justice. So yeah, on the way back to the car is a big hill. On the way back to the van now to meet up with Orla. Poor Orla, she's really banjoed up her knee, like severely. So we have to take things quite slow for the next little while and see how we get on. But nonetheless, we shall continue our adventure as best we can. But for now, I am going to leave it here, folks. And if you liked the video, it's a bit of a mishmash of a video, but if you did enjoy it, then please do give it a like. And if you fancy following along for more of this grand adventure we find ourselves on, you're most welcome to hit that subscribe button. But for now, I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers.